show, and I want to talk about a certain belief, a hypothesis, which is held by, a certain group of, uneducated, deluded, almost racist, or what's that word when you think one race is better than the other? I can't remember the word, right? But, you guys let me know. Anyway, they're probably all unemployed, and, they're exclusive on the internet, right? You don't get them in boxing gyms talking this shit, because these guys probably really haven't stepped in many boxing gyms. They watch boxing at home, probably follow like Boxing Planet on Instagram. Shout out to Boxing Planet. But yeah, these guys don't really step into boxing gyms, and you can tell they probably took one or two boxing sessions when they were kids. But nowadays I see these guys, and they've got like RSI from typing shit all day on YouTube. So these guys haven't really watched boxing firsthand, or they don't really know how easy it is to get knocked out. And after seeing one or two boxers from these ethnic groups get knocked out, they think that the whole race has glass jaws. So first of all, there's this belief among a few boxing fans, or so-called boxing fans on the internet, that Cubans have glass jaws. Sure, Cuba has had its fair share of glass jaws, but there's also been a lot of Cubans with some solid beards as well. I mean, Casamayor, about 10 years ago, he was up there and he had a great chin. There was this guy for Brandon Rios as well. I can't remember his name, Richard something, right? But, he had a very solid chin as well. And then, in my opinion, the guy with the most solid jaw in all of Cuba, maybe in all of the world, one of the most solid jaws in all time, is a Cuban as well, called Kid Gavilan. And, if you look at this guy's record, man, it's crazy. I mean, he's fought in the 50s and 40s, and he's never been knocked out in his whole career. And his career spanned about 150 fights, I think. So, most of these people who are knocking Cubans for having bad chins, number one, they haven't really stepped into the ring with many Cubans, and noticed how easy it is to get knocked out. And number two, they're usually Rigondeaux haters who hate him for his boring style, for his boring, so-called boring style, which I personally enjoy. And they blame that on being Cuban and having a glass jaw and needing that defense to protect his chin, which may be the case, right? But Rigondeaux haters, if you don't like the way he fights, then just watch someone else. I mean, there's plenty of fighters who like to have a scrap. Rigondeaux just isn't one of them, and he's smart. And I don't really understand people who say that Rigondeaux isn't entertaining. I mean, he's knocking guys out, isn't he? I mean, everyone wants to see a knockout, and that's what this guy's doing. Then there's this belief held in England, right, among a few specific YouTube commenters. They're not really YouTubers, they're probably mostly unemployed, right? And they have this belief that Pakistanis have glass jaws. Now, unlike Cubans, there aren't many Pakistani boxers, because I don't really think Pakistan, there's much of a tradition of boxing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think boxing's a big sport in Pakistan. But, there are quite a few up-and-coming Pakistani boxers up north in England. But nothing compared to the amount of white English boxers. And having said that, there are a lot of Pakistani bums as well, as with any race. And they are mostly the people who get, who are the justification of these people who say Pakistanis have glass jaws, right? So I can tell the boxing fans who say Pakistanis have bad chins have not really followed boxing for long. Because there have been Pakistanis with solid chins at a journeyman level. And, anyone remember that IBO world champion who happened to be Pakistani, I think? and his name was Jawed Khaliq. He was IBO world champion. I don't really think he was much better than European level. I think he had potential to be more than that. But he fought some big punches, and very big punches, and quite good fighters as well. I mean, he fought Takalu, Bergman, and his style. He did sort of keep his chin up, and he did get caught with a few big shots, quite a few big shots, because of his defense wasn't the best thing. But he never got knocked out in his whole career, and I was just remembering watching him when I was little the other day, and I was re-watching his fights, and this guy could definitely bang. This guy could definitely take a bang as well. Me personally, I'm white. I haven't really sparred many Asians, but the ones who I have sparred, they have been quite tough. But hell, that's sparring. Maybe they did have glass chins. Maybe a lot of them did have solid chins, but sparring says nothing about your chin. Just thought I'd throw that in there, And then there's a couple of accounts on YouTube, right? And this is what I really find funny, right? Because there'll be a Pakistani prospect in England, right? And these guys will be almost always never failing to comment on the videos of an interview with a Pakistani and saying, bet he's got a glass jaw or something like that. Though he's never been knocked down, never shown any signs of a glass chin. But this false belief, it stems from the fact that Amir Khan has a weak chin. But guys, I'm really lost for words. The race of a fighter does not determine whether or not he has a glass chin. Alright? There has been a few really bad Pakistani journeymen, really bad Cuban journeymen, really bad black journeymen, really bad Chinese journeymen, probably really bad Mongolian journeymen. But the fact is, there's going to be glass jaws in every race. There's going to be good jaws in every race. And, there's nothing scientific to say that certain races have, thin skulls or whatnot. But if you lot want to be ignorant, you could be ignorant, Feel free to subscribe for more content too, yeah. Peace.